Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This is a video that I feel like I've seen people doing for years and years and years, and I am so excited to be able to participate this year. June is the middle of the month. It's the middle of the year, and it's about the middle of the month of June, so that means that it's the middle of the year. So I am super excited. So we're starting off strong by talking about my best book of the year. The best book of the year, this was like nearly impossible. There were so many books that I could have chosen, and in the end I had to do some finagling so that I could talk about kind of like all of my favorite books in this video. So my best book of the year was Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. This book broke me. This book absolutely broke me. I feel so passionately about these characters. There are so many things that happen in this book that I will quite simply never get over. This is the last book of Magnolia and BJ's story, and it just wraps it up so incredibly. I don't think that I will ever get over this. So that is why this is my best book of the year so far. Next, we need to talk about the best sequel that I read in this year, 2025. And this is one of the very first books I read. The first book in the series is the first book I read this year. And I read this one like immediately afterward. And that is Kingdom of Claw by Demi Winters. Kingdom of Claw just makes everything about Road of Bones, which is the first book in the series, it just opens up the world incredibly, and it just makes it all that much better. Like, if you read the first book and you liked it, you must read the second book because it is so much better. It is so good. The world opens up, everything happens, you find out a lot of things that you were curious about in the first book, and I cannot wait for this series to continue. Like, I am foaming at the mouth. I'm so excited for the next book to come out. The next thing I need to talk about is a book that is a new release that came out, but I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. And so, of course, I must talk about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is one of my all-time favorite books. So of course, this book is going to be highly anticipated for me. I am so excited to read this book. I genuinely have like no clue what it's about. I've been saying that it's about sapphic vampires, but I honestly don't know if that's even true. I don't know. I have to read this book. I have to find out what it's about. I am so excited for this one. Next, I need to talk about my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and that is by far, without a doubt, Alchemised by SenLinYu. Manacled by SenLinYu changed me as a person. If you don't know, it is a Dramini fanfic that can be read on AO3. Actually, I'm not sure if it's on there anymore since she's getting traditionally published. But I am so excited for this book. You do not even understand the level of excitement I have for this. This book, Manacled, is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life, despite the fact that it's not even a book. So I cannot wait to see how she changes things and makes it so much different and better. Like, SenLinYu, I'm rooting for you. I cannot wait for this book to come out. Next, I want to talk about my biggest disappointment, and this one was really difficult because I wanted to pick something that had a lot of hype that I just felt like didn't meet the hype. So the book that I'm going to go for is kind of controversial, and that is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. Now, that's not to say I didn't like this book because I ended up rating it 4.5 stars, but looking back, I feel like I should probably I should probably lower that a little bit because Our Infinite Fates was a good book, but it wasn't like this crazy, jaw-droppingly amazing story of love that I was expecting it to be. Like, I wanted to have this book consume me, and it just didn't. It fell a little flat for me. So, like I said, in retrospect, I think that I'll probably need to bounce this down to like a 3.5 star. It just didn't hit, and it didn't stick with me. Like, I couldn't even really tell you what this book was about. Like, it just wasn't it for me. I don't know. Next, we have my biggest surprise, and I took that as like a surprise in a good way. So my biggest surprise was Silver Elite by Dani Francis. I had heard like some people talking about how much they loved this book, but then some people were like totally against it. They didn't like it at all. So when I read it, I was kind of like neutral. I was like, I have no clue what to expect, but I'm going to go in and hope that I enjoyed it. And this book knocked me out of the park. It gives me all of the vibes of like the early 2010s, like the Hunger Games and Divergent and Maze Runner, like when all of those books were coming out, this took me right back to those times, except for this book is an adult book, so it was just a little bit more, and oh my gosh, it was just so good. I really, really loved this one. Next, we need to talk about my favorite new author. Now, this is not a new author to like the world of writing, like she's been writing for a while, but she's a new to me author, and that is Miss Chloe Walsh. I read Binding 13 this year, and oh my goodness gracious, did this book change my life. I'm not being dramatic either. Like, I love this book. I cannot wait to continue on in the series. I feel like Chloe Walsh can do no wrong in my eyes. Like, and I've only read this first one. So like, I cannot wait to see where the rest of the series leads me. Like, I am so excited. Like, I want to drop everything that I'm doing and just read the next book in this series immediately. The next prompt is my newest fictional crush. Now, this one was really hard because there's a lot of fictional people that I have a crush on, but I had to go with Lucas from Deep End. Now, I think that this is kind of a controversial take. Like, I think people didn't really love Lucas, but I loved Lucas. I loved the way he talked to her. I loved the way he treated her. I just felt like it was perfect, and I would love a Lucas in my life. I feel like maybe I have a Lucas in my life, but I don't want to say that, but like, Lucas is just so incredible. I absolutely loved it, and I loved this book. The next one I'm going to talk about very briefly because I had to do a little bit of overlap. So this is for my newest favorite character, my favoriteest character, my most favorite character. The character that I liked the most. Like I said, I'm going to go quickly because my favorite character is Scylla from the Road of Bones, the Ashen series. Oh my gosh, I love Scylla. I love everything about Scylla. I love how powerful she is, but she's also like unsure of herself, and I just feel like I really related to that. So I loved it. Next, we need a book that made me cry, and this was so easy for me to pick because the book that made me cry the most was Jodi Picoult's By Any Other Name. I was pure, full on crying, like tears running down my face. Like, I had to take a break. Like, it really, really, really got me. Like, oh my God, did this book get me crying. This book means so much to me. It is such a powerful book about women empowerment, and just, oh my gosh, I loved this book. So let me read you my favorite quote. So basically, you don't even need to know like what it's about. Just listen to this. You're gonna die. Escape may not be possible in my lifetime. Mayhap I am like that bird, beating against the window for naught. But you, or your daughter, or your daughter's daughter, may be the one to fly through the hole. What? Like, are you joking? Are you joking? Like, I'm not doing everything for myself. Like, I'm doing it because I want the people who come after me to have a great life. Like, that is everything to me. Like, I loved this book so much. Next, we need to talk about a book that made me happy. And I need to also say this with the caveat that this book also made me cry. And not even like happy cry. Like, this book fully made me cry. But this book made me so happy because I was so excited to be back in this world, and that is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Hunger Games is kind of everything to me. Like, I think it's one of the best books ever written, and I'm not even being like sarcastic or exaggerating. Like, I genuinely think it's like one of the best books ever. And Sunrise on the Reaping was perfect. It was perfect. It was everything I wanted Haymitch's story to give. It made me cry. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Even thinking about this book brings me happy, happy, happy times. Like, I want to reread the entire Hunger Games series because this book is just everything to me. Next, we need to talk about the most beautiful book that I bought this year, and that has to be the Fairy Loot edition of The Knight and the Moth. Like, are you joking me? Like, look at how beautiful this is. The butterflies, like, oh, the stained glass, like, you're kidding. Like, it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The inside, like, oh, like, what? This book is so beautiful. I also have not read this yet. I cannot wait to read this. This is at like the top of my list. I am so excited to read this, but I just think that this book is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And finally, the last prompt is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? And I went ahead and I picked 3. There are so many books that I want to read by the end of the year, but these 3 I feel like are the top of my list right now. These are the ones I want to read the most. The first one is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I have no clue what it's about, but all I know is that I'm very excited to read it. Then we have a book that I cannot believe that I haven't read yet, and that is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Why haven't I read this yet? This is like right up my alley. I love fantasy romance, and I've heard that this is just like groundbreaking. Like, I'm so excited to read this. Like, why haven't I read this yet? And the last one is a sequel that I have been eagerly anticipating that came out a while ago and I haven't read it yet. And that is A Curse Carved in Bone. I loved the first book in this series, A Fate Inked in Blood. I absolutely ate that up. So I'm so excited to get into the second book. And I love Danielle L. Jensen, like the Bridge Kingdom series. I love that series, like so good. So I can't wait. I don't know why I haven't picked this one up yet. And with that being said, that is the mid-year book Freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!